Hello and welcome. In this video, let us learn more information about data types, variables and commenting. Okay. Now, in the previous video, I talked about data types or types of data. I told you that there are many data types and out of those many, these are three. Okay. So, integer, float and string. Now, let me go here and let me say name is equal to Anita. Okay, let name is equal to Anita. Let age is equal to 28 and let weight is equal to 49. All right, 49. Now you know that this is string, this is integer and this is also integer, right? But let us get the answer from JavaScript itself, or let us use JavaScript to say that this is a string and these two are integers. All right, to do that we have to use type of operator. Okay, we have to say type of. All right, we have to use type of, and then we need to write the name of the variable. So here name is the name of the variable. Okay, so name is the name of the variable. So let us run it, and it says string name variable contains string value. That is what it is saying. Okay, or Anita is a string. So type of is used to get the type of data stored in a variable. Okay, next let me go for age. All right, so type of age, and let me run it. So it says number. So for integer value we get number as output. Okay, it says number instead of integer. So in age variable we have an integer output or a number, not output, integer value or a number. Okay, so next I'll check for weight. Let me run it. It says number. Okay, so in weight variable I have stored an integer value or a number. Okay, so let me change this to 49.5. now this is a float, correct? This is a float. So when I run it, it still says number. So in JavaScript, for both integer and float values, we get the data type as number. Okay, and for strings we get as strings. The output will be string. All right, output will be string. Okay, so use type of to get the data type. All right, now this can also be in the brackets. All right, so it can be like this too, type of and in the brackets name. So run string. Okay, so here you can say age and run number. So you can use brackets or leave it, it is left to you. All right, next let me say name is. Okay, name is. Let me run it. Let me close it and run it. Yeah, so I get whatever is in the quotes as output. Okay, I'll put a comma here. I'll put a comma and I'll say name. Let me run it. So name is Anita. Name is Anita. Okay, now instead of saying like this, there is one more way to write this and get the same output. Okay, so let us try it out. I'm going to delete this. Okay, and say console.log and in ticks, okay, not quotes but ticks, I'll say name is, and I'll use a dollar symbol and flower bracket, and inside flower bracket I'll mention the name of the variable. Okay, name of the variable. So let me run it. So I get name is Anita. Let me change it Ravi. Let me run it. I get name is Ravi. Okay. So you can see that we have used a different statement to get the output, and this is the normal way we mention about variables in JavaScript. Okay, so this dollar symbol and the flower brackets along with it are used to mention the name of the variable. Okay, so inside flower bracket should be the name of the variable. Okay, name. So here let me say age is age. Okay, age is age. So when I run it, I get age is 28. So inside flower brackets, I need to mention the name of the variable. Alright, and it has to be inside ticks. So you cannot have quotes here. Alright, you cannot have quotes and run it to get output. Alright, so you cannot use quotes. It has to be ticks. It has to be ticks. Only when the dollar symbol and flower brackets come inside the ticks, then it means put the value of variable inside this when giving an output. Okay, when giving an output. Alright, so let me write the first one. So let me write name here. Let me write name here. And this was the initial one. Okay, this was the initial one that we used, and this is the new thing that we learned now. And in JavaScript we use this. Okay, we use this. So inside ticks, all right, inside ticks we say name is, and then we use dollar symbol, and inside flower brackets we mention the name of the variable. Okay, next let me say console.log, and inside ticks age is, and what is it, dollar symbol and flower brackets age, close it. All right, close it. So let me delete it, let me run it. So name is Ravi, age is 28. Okay, and console.log, inside ticks weight is dollar symbol, flower bracket and weight. All right, let me run it to get output like this. Okay, so this is what we use instead of the initial way that I showed you in the previous video. Okay, now let us talk about commenting. Let me paste this here. So first use of commenting is to ignore the code, okay, or to skip the code. We use two forward slashes. Okay, we use two forward slashes to skip a line of code that we do not want to execute. Okay, so let me delete this. All right, now this is how we write comment. We have more functionalities or more uses of comment. I'll talk about it later. Now first is to skip the code. I want to skip executing this. You know that we start executing line by line. So first line is executed, next second line is executed, next third line is executed, and so on, correct? But when JavaScript encounters these two forward slashes, then it is going to ignore all the codes that comes after it. So this entire line will be skipped and not executed. Okay, so it will skip this line and go to the next line, and so this will be executed. So let me show you this. I'll say age is, and I'll say age. Okay, let me run it, and you can see I get only the output for this and not this. Okay, so this line is skipped because we have two forward slashes here. Two forward slashes means ignore the code. Alright, when we want to skip a line without deleting it, we use these two forward slashes. Okay, next is to comment about the program or code. Alright, so let us say that you are working on a project along with two other members. So it is a big program and three of you are writing the program together. So whatever the other two people write must be understood by you properly, and whatever you write they must be able to understand. So wherever possible and wherever it is necessary, you have to comment about the code. Okay, now let me write here prints out the name of the user. Alright, prints out the name of the user. Let me run it and you can see this doesn't get printed out. Okay, so because we have two forward slashes. Alright, yes. Now when someone else looks at this program and when he reads this code, what does it do? Okay, then he reads the comment about it. So this prints out the name of the user. Okay, so he comes to know that this code prints out the name of the user. Alright, so now let me copy this and let me paste here age. Okay, so age is age. Alright, so let me run it. So name is Ravi, age is 20. So when someone looks at your program, he comes to know, okay, prints out the name of the user. So this is used to print the name of the user. Okay, then what is this? This prints out the age of the user. Okay, so this line prints the age of the user. Alright, so this is how they try to figure out what the code does or what the program does. Here it is obvious that this prints out. Here it is obvious that it prints out the age. Alright, so here it is not necessary to comment. Alright, when it is obvious, no need to comment. But if you have some unusual code, then it is better to comment so that you along with others can understand what the code does. Okay, now this is how you comment in single line. We use two forward slashes. But if we have multiple lines, let us say this, okay, prints out the age of the user. It displays the value stored in the variable name. Alright, now these two are comments. These two lines are comment now. Alright, so one way is to add forward slashes for both the lines. This is fine. This is fine. But one more way, if you have multi-line comment, is by using forward slash star and end it with star forward slash. Okay, so start it with forward slash star, end it with star forward slash. So this means it is a multi-line comment. That means this entire thing will be ignored by the computer when executing. Okay, so this is just for your reference to understand what the code does and not for the compiler to execute. Alright, so use comments wisely. Alright, yes. So this is it for this video. Go ahead and practice the things that we have learnt in this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.